Alright guys, welcome back to Kings of the Old World Qualifier number 3. And the tournament is now up to a 9 grand prize pool, looking to go to 10. And we've got our champions today, Aykin as Indians, up against Lucas on Chinese, to see who's going to make it through the next round of the qualifiers. We are only on the game number 1 of 3. We're here on Vistula Basin. I'll just double check that. Yeah, Vistula Basin. The Indians player. I do realise they now get these wood techs for free starting out. Well, Lucas going for an aggressive-ish trading post, I guess. I suppose this one's actually fairly close to his opponent, whereas this one's probably his safest option, in theory. Like, in terms of rush distance, this is the closest to his opponent and furthest from him, I believe. Aykin scouting out for now. He split his explorers up, these guys. Can be very handy at getting him good vision of the map early on. I guess that's one of the advantages of all these. The other two Asian dynasty civs over the Chinese is that they've got 2 explorers starting out, or Chinese just as the 1, but they do have that disciple. I believe they get a disciple when they start out. They must have to generate one. Oh no, they use it in the fight. Don't they have a chance to create disciples? Oh, is it per age? You've got a limit on disciples, so age 1, it really only just replaces it, your initial one, if you lose him, which Lucas isn't looking at doing. But now he's splitting them up to get that line of sight. No one's really going to be able to contest the windmills early on, because there is those 5 marauding muskets. A solid Mexican Guardian, I believe. Oh no, it's a European map. It'd be a European musket, sorry. Unless they took a voyage back from the Americas, of course. Let's not rule that out. Anyway, T exports sent, so Lucas getting a consulate and going to be able to go Russians to get his blockhouse early on. I have no idea what that says, but I'm assuming it means he's got Russian in his consulate. So, northern refugees, so 2 villages being sent by Lucas. Aykin having already sent distributivism, so he'll be able to get a villager out of that, as most techs send a villager along with their other units or the goodies or the tech bonus. So Agrifort going down now for Aykin. Our players can see each other right now. Aykin's attempted a steal, not quite working out for him. Lucas is able to secure his 90 food, so he'll be happy about that. So Lucas going to be going for Summer Palace. They ship those units for free. Gives him some food shipped at the town center as well. Aykin's Agra going to give him sepoys, and he's also going to have the ability to train units out of this, and it is going to be a great defensive structure, as it is a fortress. Doesn't hit quite as hard as the European fortresses, I believe, but it is quite tanky still. good range. It's a good fallback point for our Indian player to keep massing up. He is going to ship foreign logging. Lucas. Summer Palace, not quite finished yet. He's going to add that blockhouse to defend. So Lucas has gone for the 2 trading posts, while aykin yet to take 1 at the moment, but he's going to have units out fairly quickly here. He's already got Sepoys just patrolling the trading post, bringing them back because you want to perhaps start going through these muskets. He doesn't quite have enough just yet. Oh, here we go. And he's built 5 as well. With 7 of them and his explorers, he can really work through them with the stuns. Be able to capture his first mill. So a handy eco benefit there for aykin. Now he can always have it destroyed on him, he can always delete it, he can always have it recaptured by his opponent and then capture it back again. But it will be a handy eco boost to him there, 1 food per second. Effectively a free villager and then some for him. So aykin going to try and pressure one of Lucas's trading posts, and behind this he's going to start making standard army. Oh, switched up the music there. Sorry guys. Oh, he's cancel that. He's still shipping his Chikanyu and his pikemen, but he's cancelling his other army. He had training at his blockhouse. I was about to read what it was. Silly duffer, he shouldn't have cancelled it so I could read it out to the crowd. aykin, civil servants coming out of this. Hello. So he'll be able to get some more resources. I believe that's the one that benefits everything, or is it just wood? Just gold maybe. Yeah, it's his coin gathering upgrade. Only 5%, but it's extremely cheap. Fairly short train time compared to the European techs. So Lucas adding a market and going to age 3 now. Porcelain Tower for that sweet resource gen. aykin having taken out one of his trading posts, capturing mill on his side of the map. Ooh, fairly aggressive treasure steal attempt here. Must have been stuck because aykin questioning what's going on and Lucas laughing in response while he pinches the treasure. So I think he must have maybe attack commanded and accidentally attacked the treasure instead of the explorer there. aykin, his fortress age coming in, while Lucas, having already taken his, he's going to be shipping a lot of coin now. Looks like aykin possibly going to camp this mill and look at going for it. He's found his opponent's other trading post. aykin holding all of the houses at the moment. So these, he can actually put a settlement down remotely, not even having to send a villager to build or waste time building a trading post with his explorer. He can just do it remotely. And it costs food wood instead of 200 wood, so technically it's actually cheaper to get because food's easier to gather early on in the game. Innately, you gather food slightly faster than gold and wood. Sorry guys, I'm just tired. Late night cast here. But Lucas really booming up towards his industrial age now by the looks of things, while aykin does just look to be massing up units to try and go for a bit of a push perhaps here. So Lucas forced to pull some villagers back, and it looks like aykin. Is he going to go for the mill now, or is he going to go for the trading post? Or even try and pressure the village, considering it's really out of range of anything to defend it. And he's going to go for the mill. aykin to 33 vills, just like his opponent, but Lucas going to industrial age. aykin taking the mill. Going to start getting some of his fortress upgrades on his units. Fusion Academy nearly finished, but it'll be quite a while before it finishes up that flying crow. So aykin trying his chances at taking out the trading post before he pushes here. Fairly passive early game from Lucas, while he's gone for this boom and go straight to his industrial age. So aykin, having taken out a pair of the trading posts and grabbed the pair of the mills, but it looks like aykin's gonna lose one of them now. Lucas pushing out a bit of an army. A couple of shipments of free units would have been training some now. He's going to ship 26 Rattan shields. So Confucian Academy shipping a bunch of arquebusiers, and then he's got the free armies. aykin looking to try and hold on to the mill if he can, and sort of starve his opponent out from any easy food. Bearing in mind there is this hunt right next to it. So Lucas having a back right off for the minute. aykin shoving quite hard with the Rattan shields, popping out of the village. Nice surround on all these skirms. The Gurkhas having to really stop and try and micro well onto them and onto the pikemen. Lucas significantly down in terms of overall population here, so aykin has got a much larger force in this fight. But the Rattan shields eventually forcing all the Gurkhas to have to back off right now. So Lucas may really get a lot of value turning this one around here, because he should be able to kill just about all the Gurkhas before his opponent makes it out of here. Rattan shields and the Explorer are going to be able to get their snares off, while Sepoys being sent by aykin. Well, they are going to have a nicer melee against the Rattan shields, and they're going to trade fairly evenly with the arquebusiers. They're not going to have a nice ranged advantage against arquebusiers and Chuka and you. But for now, I guess that small number of Rattan shields left is really going to force more of the musket type units. Especially now that there's a transition to meteor hammers here from Lucas, so aykin perhaps wise to really just stick with the Sepoy, the Indian musket unit, and he's also going to be fielding some British musketeers, I thought. Didn't he send an army of them somewhere? So Lucas really shoving Aykin now. He's down in terms of population. This army size, I think, is actually larger than Aykin's at the moment. He'll pick off a couple of houses. Take back the mill briefly here. It's important, costing his opponent a little bit of food. And his explorer's dead at home, so he's not going to be able to rely on snagging back his opponent's mill. So Lucas now allied with the Germans. The Hound's now on the field, so these guys are going to be quite solid against infantry. The area damage. We're going to have a bunch of flying crows now for Lucas, so it's be a solid army, very tough for our Indian player to deal with without also transitioning to a bunch of cavalry of his own. We're getting a bit of siege to try and snipe the flying crows with. Give them a heart raid. Paying a bit of a dividend here for Aykin. He's going to be able to possibly get a couple of villages here. He really needs to get an attack off on that last pair there. Should be able to get quite a few. Oh, and then, wow. Most of them going down there. So Lucas now down 20 villages. 21 villages. He has been trying to raid with his meteor hammer, so he does get a villager of his own. Stop it. Killing your own villagers. Another meteor hammer. Harassing the vills. Will be able to pick off one or two before he falls. So Aykin, 50 to 32 in terms of the vill counts. A little rough for Lucas, but he's been playing this quite well. Just needs to get a bit more gold in the bank. Aykin needs to get more food or a bit more wood. But plenty of gold for the minute. Getting some Arumi swordsmen, so going to be a nice melee frontline unit, a bit like the Rattan Shields. But bearing in mind, Lucas is going to have a scary number of flying crow to take an engagement with here. Crow's going to start working away at that house. Lucas have to deal with the fact that Aykin's now moving out on the other side of the map. So Aykin going to snatch back, control the house for a bit of vision, and possibly look at threatening the village out here, picking off a villager just on the hunt. So Lucas trying to bring the hunt back home. Not going to be successful there anytime soon, but does have some meteor hammer in tow. Changda sticking around when they don't need to is a little bit rough for him. All these villagers in garrison just in time. So who's going to take the first game in the series, guys? Got two more flying crows being shipped by Lucas, while another one going to be out very soon. Aykin is continuing to mass up heaps of Gurkhas. There's a 20 army pop lead over his opponent, but these flying crows going to get some nice shots off on those skirmish units. So there's Aykin needs to have something to deal with the flying crows, or to just constantly disengage and fight just outside of range of them. Instead of a pair of Mahouts, but there's now the 5 flying crows for him to deal with. So Lukas, it's a really scary force for him to move out with. Arquebus is taking a fight against Gurkhas. They're about to get backed up by a bunch of flying crows. They attack the Mahout. A lot of damage off on him, but doesn't quite pick him off. More of the infantry getting quite low and being taken down there. So Lukas taking Aykin to under 160 pop. He's at 150 now. Lukas continuing to push forward for the moment. Add some more. Forces his opponent to add some more Mahouts while he's going for county government flying crows. Aykin, 180 pop. Lukas, 160 for the moment. Aykin's just on the 1 town center, and Lukas on 2. He's got this one over at the right side of the map, which it looks like Aykin's going to try and now tear down and stop this double villager production of Lukas, because Lukas is considerably down in terms of that vill count. But he's got quite a solid force for his opponent to contend with. Mahout, great pseudo siege as well as their area splash. It looks like Lukas is going to think about pushing somewhere in response. He has a lot of these flying crows in tow here. The Mahout's deciding to flee and try and back up the infantry for the minute in case Lukas takes the fight, because Aykin going to be on top of one of his last hunts now. Arquebus is being shipped en masse at the moment. 17 of them on the way for Lukas, while Aykin's going for Taj Mahal here. Sending a big shipment of coin, and on top of that, you can actually take great use of the ceasefire technology and disengage if he needs to, and either use inspiration before or after it. As actually, you know, started or finished, so we've got a big engagement going on down. Game's stuttering a little bit there, but the area splash, but most of it going into the walls. Looks like Lukas is going to try and get the surround on Aykin here. His flying crows are so slow. Ceasefire being called by Aykin while he retreats. But Lukas keeping his army on top of his opponents. Aykin now trying to rush towards Lukas's base, away from the flying crows. Inspiration now being used by Aykin, but has he backed himself into a corner here, because that's an impressive siege count here for the Chinese player on top of his army, which is working wonders against the Indian infantry. And all this splash, I think this might be it here. If there's another volley of this, I think this is over. Jesus Christ, you see that? So Aykin, his army has just been chewed up and spat out by the flying crows. And they're all alive, bar one, at the end of the fight there. So Lukas has really cleaned up Aykin's army. And from here, he should just be able to push to win, I think. He's got the siege. He really needs to tear down any structure extremely quickly. Aykin continuing to mash up Seapoys. There's already Meteor Hammer in tow. He's got some more Arumi, but he doesn't have as much as he did the last time round. And GG. I think Lucas takes it from there.